Kasalukuyan pong nagsasagawa ng press conference ang PAGASA kaugnay sa El Niño. Panoorin po natin.
2015. Next slide, please. And this is the IRI forecast, ENSO forecast, which appear to be very consistent, being another institution from the US, and they raised the ENSO alert system status to El Niño advisory. Next slide, please. And this is the graph of sea surface temperature anomaly. The black heavy line shows us that since September, October, November, we have already broke out from the 0.5 degree limit, and it stayed until February to 0.6. So next slide, please. And this is the forecast for the Niño 3.4 region, which appear and suggest that in the next coming weeks, the sea surface temperature will stay above the 0.5 level. Next slide, please. Thank you. And Oceanic Niño, would like to describe the Oceanic Niño Index, which we are presenting. Is the principal measure for monitoring, assessing, and predicting El Niño Southern Oscillation, defined as the 3-month running mean SST departures in the Niño 3.4 region, and the operational definition of El Niño by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So El Niño is characterized by a positive ONI greater than or equal to 0.5 degrees Celsius, while La Niña is characterized by a negative ONI less than or equal to negative 0.5 degrees Celsius. By historical standard, to be classified as a full-fledged El Niño or La Niña episode, this threshold must be exceeded for a period of at least 5 consecutive overlapping 3-month season, which I have shown earlier. And this slide shows us the Southern Oscillation Index. Simply expressed, this is the response of the atmosphere to the warming of the sea surface temperature. So, still, in the past several months, we could see that the Southern Oscillation Index is in the negative, while recently it's in the positive. Next slide, please. And this is another expression of the graph, which shows us that the Southern Oscillation Index is in the positive level. Parang kabaliktaran, it should be in the negative. Next slide, please. Thank you. And this is the compilation of the dynamical and statistical forecast coming from different institutions. So the yellow line, heavy yellow line, is the average dynamical forecast coming from dynamical model. And what is shown is that there will be a consistent increase in sea surface temperature in the coming months ahead, while the statistical is showing us that a decrease in sea surface temperature. Next slide, please. So, in Australia, they also have issued an ENSO tracker raised to El Niño watts. So, the definition of El Niño watts is on the upper portion of this slide. So, next slide, please. And this is the observed wind anomaly. The wind over the equatorial region in the Pacific Ocean. I am showing this because I would like to emphasize that there was an observed weakening of the easterly wind and near the dateline, which also produces the convective pattern, a signature of El Niño. Although it's not really that consistent. Next slide, please. Yes, sir. So, ito po yung expression ng cloudiness. Next slide, please. So, now we proceed to the monthly rainfall forecast, March to July 2015. Next slide. And this is the forecast from international multimodal ensemble. So, from April to August 2015. Note that in the coming months, April and May, there is a very high probability that we will be experiencing below normal rainfall. What we do in PAGASA is to localize that over the Philippines and give you more detail. Next slide, please. Thank you. And this is the March 2015 rainfall forecast. And note that most areas in the Philippines are expected to have below normal rainfall. Next slide, please. And this is April. Some portion of the Philippines will still have below normal rainfall. Next slide, please. And this is for May. So note that May is where we expect that the southwest monsoon begin. And note that there are a large portion in the Philippines that expected to have below normal rainfall. Next slide, please. In June, when we have the south...
Yan po ang press conference sa PAGASA patungkol pa rin sa inasahang pagpasok ng El Niño sa bansa. Ito ay matapos magpalabas ang NOAA at iba pang International Research Institute na nagkakaroon na ng 50 to 60% chance ng El Niño sa bansa ngayong papasok na mga buwan.